Hello, my name is Kalina. I'm the fiancé of Joshua Lee McCollister, who was murdered on July 8th by Deunn Willis and robbed by Danielle Durand. I had a bad night last night. I had seizures again. You know, people have told me, honey, you're going to be okay, you're going to be okay, and, you know, it's really hard to listen to because the stalking situation is not gone. You know, the person that kept me safe to the best of his ability is gone. This situation is not, though. And people tell me what to do, they give me advice, and you are not hearing me. You're not. I went through the legal channels. I did what I was supposed to do. And I could have stood up to one stalker. I did not in 1,000 years think that they were going to actually have somebody helping them. I didn't think I was going to have 2 stalkers at the same time. I didn't think that they would actually do a smear campaign to get people that I didn't even know to hurt me. And that's a flying monkey situation, and unless you've gone through narcissistic abuse, you just won't get it. That people you don't know, and you never know what they're going to look like, or what their names are going to be, are just going to come out of nowhere and try to hurt you because this other person created this scenario where even good people feel like they're doing the right thing by coming at you. It's not done. It's not stopped. The only difference is my bodyguard is gone. And every day, I am just living in complete dread of what nightmare is going to happen. And all I know is that the cops won't help me. They won't. Because they didn't. And there's no excuse for it. There is no excuse for them hearing the word felony and doing nothing to investigate. We talked a little bit about the stuff that they did to us was just sadistic. Indefensibly sadistic. So, I think it's about January, February, March. I think it's about April that they did something to me that just made me shut down psychologically. It broke me. The instigator decided that he was going to show me texts, screenshots of texts of things that I had written to somebody about him. I didn't write these things. They came from a Facebook account with my name, using my picture. And I'll give the person who was writing these things this. It was really convincing. Like, so convincing that I said, oh my God, when did I write this? That's how convincing it was. And the reason that it was so convincing is because it had tremendously personal data. Like, it had my reproductive history. It had my medical information. It had information on me being hurt, put in the hospital. It had information about me being raped. And, you know, I've been through a lot of SA. These were the rapes that I absolutely never wanted my children to find out about. Like, these were the absolute worst. that I'd ever been through, and his account had it. The instigator showed me this. And these screenshots weren't from him, they were from the enabler. So, like, someone is making this fake account talking about the most grotesque things that have happened to me. And here this other party is screenshotting with the intent to use these screenshots of me talking about these horrific events in my background for, well, the implication is that they were going to use these in court. It was like being raped all over again, to see that multiple parties were, making use of my rapes. I don't know that there's any other way to interpret that. And it came out pretty quickly. I had, the instigator had gotten 3 months of my private Facebook correspondence and had printed this out for multiple people, given copies of it to multiple people, and like, it had the I've lost pregnancies, and so now these people that were screenshotting and having a good time with this, they were like, they knew the names of my babies that didn't make it. They knew information about my seizures that I didn't want out there. But it was the rapes that was so hard. That was what hit me so hard, because they were using it to their advantage. There's a person who's supposed to be really close to me named Ashley Anderson. I have no idea who this person is. And it didn't matter. I said, I don't know who this person is. I have no idea. But Ashley Anderson was in these conversations with me online. Me, the fake Galena profile, and Ashley Anderson were. And you can't imagine what it's like to I mean, a lot of people know what it's like to be raped, but for multiple people to be using that to be like triumphantly taking screenshots that they can take these rapes with this private information, just blast it out into the community. And these were women doing this, You think that if someone's going to be doing that, a woman who's been raped herself would never do that. I never would have spoken about this stuff publicly, never in 1,000 years, because I didn't want my kids to know, and now it's just, okay, well, my kids are going to know. Nothing I can do about it, so I can at least try to get ahead of this nightmare and say, okay, yes, these rapes happened. But these people shouldn't be using it. And every day, I just don't know what these people are going to do with this information. Josh wanted me to go to the cops. But I went to the cops when I was doxxed. They didn't do anything. I mentioned that there was this fake profile. Nothing. everything that I said was happening. They didn't do anything. I was willing to do so much so that those rapes never got found out about by my kids. I'm afraid every single day. Like, it never lets up. I don't understand how they live with themselves. I would never have done this to anyone else. And psychologically, it just broke me. And the instigator told me more than once that this was the enabler's plan, doing all this stuff to force me into a coercive situation. No, he didn't call it a coercive situation, but that's what it was. And I was so ashamed, so incredibly ashamed, and I couldn't even face Josh about what had happened, because I just broke. I completely broke. And then he was dead. You know, one of the people that got copies of my private data, I've had 2 conversations with her in my life. I had a conversation with her when I was 15. And a conversation with, not even a conversation, like an exchange, in 2025. But the instigator, when he got caught for giving these people this private data, he said, well, how can I make it up to you? I said, well, give me your phone. So I know all the stuff that these people, I know all the stuff that they were planning, all the stuff they said about me. I didn't deserve this stuff. I'm gonna say to that person, I call her Mrs. Forrest. One of the people that got all my private data. I had 2 conversations with you, lady. 2 conversations ever with you. What gave you the right to get the information about my dead babies? What gave you the right to have the information about me being raped? How am I the bad guy here when you stole stuff that if you were a doctor, you'd be in jail? I mean, talk about HIPAA violations, man. I would never have done that to you. I've never done that to anyone. I've never weaponized someone's rapes against them like this. You don't know me. You don't. You think I'm like this horrible person. You don't know me. But you came at me, and you came at my kids, and you came at us hard. Why? You don't know me. And even if I was the freaking devil, why would you stoop to such a low kind of behaviors to use someone's rapes against them? But since you had 3 months of my private correspondence with this person, then you know something. You know I was literally begging this person for my life. Begging, please don't kill me. I said those words. Please don't kill me. You know that I was saying this for months to this person. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill Josh. Don't kill us. And this was private correspondence between me and him. So why would you think I'm lying to him? I didn't anticipate anybody was ever going to read this stuff. You literally read a woman begging for her life. And instead of being sympathetic, you went after me. You tried to make my life harder. Every day, I wonder, is today going to be the day? Every day for months when I'd go outside, I'd say, oh God, please don't let them have found me. And I still have to say that to myself when I go outside, because the fact that you guys were willing to do what you did, you could see a woman begging for her life and you still came at her. Well, here's one thing you didn't anticipate. The instigator has no loyalty to you. The instigator has no loyalty to any of you. At all. And I have a tape recording from him acknowledging that he gave you guys all this stuff to hurt me. Yeah. He doesn't give a rat's ass about any of you. He only cares about himself. He gave your names up. Like, in a heartbeat. Because that's who he is. That's not who I am. That's who he is. You came at me because this person told you to. At the end of the day, he doesn't care anything about you at all. I'm so tired of being afraid every day of what's going to happen to me. So, to anybody out there that knows me, please don't tell me it's just going to be okay. It's not. It hasn't been. But I'm done begging for my life. I can tell you that much. Whatever happens to me, just take it for granted. I did not beg if I go. This is saying my people have bury me standing because I've been on my knees all my life. Well, I'm done being on my knees. As of the day I saw Josh in the morgue, coroner's office, I'm done begging. I won't beg any of you freaking sadists, because this is sadistic what you did. I won't beg any of you guys ever again. You guys can just live with the consequences of what you did to me being public knowledge. Because you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself for what you did to me, and you should be ashamed of what you did to Josh. Really ashamed.